Hi, I'm John Underwood from Waterfront Communications Training. I'll begin with a confession. Once upon a time, I used to be a journalist, but now I help people to communicate more effectively with journalists, with their colleagues and with clients. Today I'm going to share my top 5 tips for getting your message across. Tip number 1, develop a narrative and key messages. We all love a good story. Children love a story at bedtime. People communicate through stories. Journalists talk about news stories. So develop a narrative for your communication and make it compelling. Because of A, we thought we'd try B. And when B worked, we thought, why not C? And then from your narrative, distill some key messages. Nothing too long, nothing too complex. Certainly no more than 3 messages, but enough to summarize what you're trying to get across. Tip number 2, have a purpose. Don't do an interview or deliver a presentation simply because you feel you've got to. Have a reason and a purpose for doing it. Often that will involve behaviour change. You might want your audience to support your position or buy your new product or even vote for you. Whatever your purpose, it's important to have one. Tip number 3, be specific and say what you mean. It feels safe and easy to communicate in abstract terms, to tell your audience about processes and procedures and systems. It's more difficult but more effective to tell them about specifics, about outputs and outcomes. Instead of saying, today sees the publication of a very important report, you might say, drinking tea stops baldness, according to a report published today. Get to the heart of the matter and get there quickly. Tip number 4, what does it mean for me? People always want to know, how is this going to affect me? The more you can answer this question, the more likely you are to achieve the outcomes you're looking for. That's why politicians are always looking for the type examples of the person they're trying to appeal to. With Mrs. Thatcher, it was Essex man. With Tony Blair, it was Worcester woman. For individuals and organisations, the target audience is usually much smaller than that, and that makes it easier to target the individuals concerned. And finally, tip number 5, smile. Smiling isn't about humour or jokes, it's about confidence. Of course, it's not always appropriate to smile. Some interviews and presentations are so serious that smiling would simply be wrong. But they're few and far between. Most acts of communication, even the relatively serious ones, will be better if delivered with a warm smile. I hope these few tips are helpful. Thank you for listening, and if you'd like more information on waterfront training and mentoring opportunities, please feel free to browse our website or get in touch with us directly and we can talk about how we might be able to work together. Thank you.